Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, what we are going to cover is first we are going to create a classic build pipeline for a .NET application, and after build we are going to deploy the application into Azure Web App using classical release pipeline. If you are new to my channel, hit subscribe. Your subscription will motivate me to produce more video in better quality. Hey everyone, this is the overall architecture we have been covering in past 2 to 3 videos. First we have covered about service connection, and then we have covered about agent pool, and in the last video what we did is we have created a .NET application and pushed it to Azure repository. And in this video what we are going to do is we are going to create pipelines to build and deploy the .NET application into Azure Web App. So this is the .NET application which you have developed and pushed into the Azure DevOps kit. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create pipelines to build this .NET code, and we are going to push it to this specific Azure Web App. So if you just in the overview section, if you just click on this URL, as of now the web app is up and running, but we don't have any application hosted here. So let's go back to Azure DevOps. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create a classic uh, pipeline for both build and release. So if you just go to pipelines, you will get to see pipelines and then releases. If you didn't see release option, what you need to do is just go to organization setting, not project setting, organization setting. Under that, go to settings under pipeline and just turn off these two. Once you are done, you should be able to see classic release as well. So later point of time we will go with a YAML pipeline, but for this video let's go with the easy way, which is classical pipelines. Why do we need a build pipeline? So if you are running a .NET application, you need to build and then you need to run, right? So even if you are running your .NET application from your local from VS Code or Visual Studio, initially it will build and then it will run, right? First it will build the NuGet packages and then it will build your solution and then it will run. So similarly, even for deploying, you need a package which is already built, and from that only you will be deploying. So in order to create a deployable package, you need to have some set of tasks to be done. So let's see how we can do it. First, just click on the pipeline and click on new pipeline. And here YAML is there, but we are not going with YAML in this video. So as of now, let's go with use classical editor, which is UI based one. Just select classic editor, and here I just selected the repository. In case if you couldn't find your repository, just click on the drop down and select the repository where your .NET application is there, and then I'm just leaving the main branch as default and click on continue. And here you can go with empty job, or you can select any of the template which is available. What template will do is it will just give set of tasks which is defined for it. So let's say for example, for our scenario we have created a .NET web application, right? So this is the specific option we need to select from. So I'm going to click on apply, and if you see it, for any .NET application, these are the set of tasks you need to run. First you need to specify which NuGet version to be installed, and then NuGet restore will happen, and then solution will get built, and then here test assemblies is there. These are like optional, you can either disable or you can remove it. So if you, in case if you want to remove, just click on remove. So these are various tasks which is available, and in case if you want to add any additional task, let's say for example you want to add a SonarQube task, so what you need to do is you need to click on this plus icon and search for the task which you need. But for our scenario, these 5 tasks is enough. And if you just click on the top, so here you get to see the name of the pipeline, or you can edit either from here or here, anything is fine. So let's change the name of the pipeline. Okay, done. And here we need to select the agent pool. And if you remember, and in our earlier video we have covered about self-hosted VMSs and then managed DevOps pool. If you haven't watched them, please do watch them. To be simple, under agent pool we will be specifying the infrastructure that is required to run these tasks, and I'm going to leave it as Azure pipeline. And from the drop down I'm going to select Windows latest, and now just go to the next option And here if you see what are we have selected initially, right, the repository name and the branch, it is coming up. And here you find additional settings such as clean in the sense what it will do is it will just clear out all the working directory before this build package is running. So let's say for example earlier instance of the build could be available, right? So in case if you want to clean it, just click on true. So what it will do, whatever the existing files are there in the build agent pool, so it will wipe out everything, meaning like from the work folder. And then here cleaning options is there. Do you want to clear the sources, output directory, or everything? So you can just select all build directories, anything is fine. And now if you just click on the agent job, so this specific 5 tasks we are defining under a single job. And here you can change the name of it if you want. And agent pool, if you see, it is inherited from the pipeline. So whatever the pipeline uh, agent pool you have set it at the top, that goes for this specific job. And in the final task, if you see, we are just publishing the artifact. This artifact will be using it for deployment. So as of now I'm just defining the build task. For deployment I'll be using a classical release pipeline. And what are the other option? You can go to variables. In case if you want to define any variables, you can give it here. And I will tell about triggers at the end of the video, so please do watch till the end. And one more thing, if you are new to my channel, hit subscribe. Now let's go to task. And one more thing is that it is using NuGet 4.4.1. I'm pretty sure that it is gonna fail because since we are using .NET 9, I need to use this specific version or higher. So I just define it and let's save and queue. It is currently running. In case if you want to check the live progress, you can just click on the agent job and see it is currently in NuGet restore task. And earlier task which is for NuGet installation, we have specified the version, right, that got completed. So you could see the complete log here. So let's wait for pipeline completion. Okay, it got completed. And if you see the last task which is for publishing the artifact, everything got completed. Now you can go back from here or here, anything is fine. So let me go back here. And this is the pipeline which I have created. Just click on it. And this is the specific build which you have run. So in case if you have multiple run, everything will appear here. You will see a history. So this is the specific build which we have run last time. Let's go over here. So and here if you see there is something called as one publish. So this is where you can see the artifact in the sense the deployable package we have created, right, that is available here. See, everything, it is zipped and it has some XML file as well. And you can download it and you can check any issues if it is there. And now let's come back to our pipeline. And next what we are going to do is we are going to create a release pipeline. In release, let's create a release pipeline for our web app deployment. So you need to select new release pipeline from here. Do not click on release. What it will do is, so it will just trigger this specific pipeline. So always just in case if you want to create a new pipeline, just go from here and click on new release pipeline. And as of now, let's select empty job. As of now, some default tasks are there, I don't need, just select empty job. So and let's close this. Here if you see, here you have an option to select an artifact in the sense, so whatever the deployable package is there, right, that we need to specify. Just click on add. So once you add it, you could select the pipelines from here. See, build pipeline is showing up, right? So this is the one which we have created. So select it. And here if you see, you find an option to pick up the latest version of build available or any specific older version. I mean any specific version, which means the older version of build in case if you want to select. But as of now, go with latest and click on add. So we have specified, okay, this is our build package. We have specified the artifact, right? So now we need to specify where we need to deploy. And here if you see stage we have created. So just select this and I'm going to name it as dev. So whatever the task I'm going to define under this stage, this is for dev deployment. And let me close this. And here you find one hyperlink, right? Just select it and it will navigate you here. and it has nothing because we have selected an empty job. And here you find various tasks you could add. We need to deploy our application to Azure Web App, right? So in order to do it, just select it and search for app service. So this is the one. If you see, deploy to Azure App Service, a web, a mobile, or API. So this is one we need. This is the one which you need, and here it specifies .NET, .NET Core, everything. So let me add it, and let's select this. And next, we need to specify the Azure subscription related details. And if you just click on this drop down, we have created this service connection uh, in our earlier video, right? So with the help of service connection only, we will be able to authenticate into Azure cloud and we will be able to push it. So I'm just selecting the service connection which we have created earlier, and here app service type, I'm going to leave it as a web app for Windows because while creating the web application Azure portal, I have specified it as Windows. So this is fine. Now let's come back here, and from the drop down, if you see, it had authenticated and it had fetched whatever the app service which is available in the Azure cloud. It is showing up here. I am selecting dev, and if you see here, it is picking up .zip file which is available from the artifact. So if you remember, in the artifact we have saw the zip file, right? So that it is picking up. And that's it. Now let's come back to pipeline. We have defined the task for dev. Now in the same way, I have one more web app for production as well. Let me duplicate this tab. So this is my production web app. So now let's come back here, and the task is going to be the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone it, and let me name it as prod, and let's close it, and click on one job and then one task. If you have watched my video till here, I request you to subscribe my channel so that YouTube will recommend this video to multiple users. And now let's click on this specific task, and earlier we have selected dev app service, right? Now let's select prod because this is for prod deployment, and let's come back and let's name our pipeline. Okay, I have renamed it. Now let's save and queue, and here you find create release, right? Just click on it, and here if you see, dev and product is already selected. So and it is specifying which artifact you need to select. So you need to, if in case if you have run your build pipeline multiple times, so earlier build will be available. You can pick up any specific build. So just click on it and click on release one here, and here as well you will get to see the live log as well. Just click on the logs and you will see the live progress. It got completed. Now let's click on release, and this is my web application. As of now, dev deployment is done and production is in progress, and this also now got completed. So I have to verify it, and if you remember, this is our dev web app. So let's refresh. Here you see our .NET web application have been hosted here, and similarly you could verify production as well. And we have very important concepts to cover, so please wait. So now let's go back to our pipeline. So what we did have so far is creating a build and release pipeline. But what is CI and what is CD, right? We haven't come to that part. Continuous integration and then continuous deployment. So when you can say it is a continuous deployment, when you can say it is continuous integration. So let's talk about continuous integration. So continuous integration means whenever you are making a change in repository, this build pipeline should automatically run. So how to make it done? So just click on it and click on edit, and if you remember, triggers is there, so just select it, and here you find the option to enable continuous integration, and here you need to select which branch you need. So whenever changes have been made in main branch, you can you want to trigger this pipeline, or in case if you want to include any additional branch, you can add from here. So let's save it and let me test it out. So in order to do it, let me make some minor changes here. And here if you see, our build pipeline automatically got triggered, and next we will proceed to continuous deployment. So let's go to our release pipeline and let's click on edit. And here you see one thunder option is there, right? So just select it. And here you need to enable continuous deployment. Once you enable it, whenever a changes, whenever a new artifact is available in the build pipeline, this release pipeline will also get triggered. And in case if you want to add any additional filter, so you can add it from here. Let's close this. And now let's talk about what are the staging trigger it is there. So if you see, just select pre-deployment condition for dev stage, and when you want to trigger it, so whenever after a release means, so when continuous deployment is enabled, right? So whenever this pipeline is running, immediately this will start running. So this is fine. So whenever a build artifact is there, this pipeline will run and it will directly deploy to dev stage. This is fine. But for production, you don't need to deploy it immediately, right? So just select it. And here if you see, you have various options to do. You have option manually only. So if you just select it, it came here, right? There is no connectivity between dev and prod. So what it will do, it will just directly deploy to dev and it won't deploy to prod. You need to come to the pipeline and you will find an option over here to deploy under production stage. Then you can deploy it over here. And there are other options as well. So here you can add deployment approval as well. So you can add any specific user, so that based upon their approval only this will get deployed. Likewise you can customize, and here you find other option cut as such as after release. If you just select it, immediately whenever release pipeline is triggered, it will just parallel deploy to dev and prod, which you don't want. So let me select this, and here you have some additional options such as gates, and these are the various type of gate which is available. We will see them in detail later. As of now, for this video it is not required. And let's save it. Now everything is done, so let's first trigger from repository. Post that our build pipeline run, and then our release pipeline will get triggered. So let's go to repository. Let me make some changes. Usually you will doing these changes from your local, but for demo purpose I'm just making the changes from here. Now build pipeline is being triggered. Build got completed, and if you just go to release, release it got automatically triggered, and just select this. And if you see, it just got deployed to dev alone, and for prod it is just not yet deployed, and you need to click deploy from here. So that's it on this video. If you found this video helpful, like and comment so that YouTube will recommend this video to multiple users. Thank you. See you again on the next video.